am surrounded by wrestling fans. Not sports entertainment fans. Professional wrestling fans!
World, look into my eyes. When you see me on a show, when you see these fans, you know you've got the best in the damn world.
This is the Wrestling Matters podcast where we stand up for professional wrestling.
Here we fucking go! Well, enough is enough, and it's time for a change! Professional wrestling! This is it! This is us standing up!
Yes! 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 Yes!
That's 13-14! Make it till death!
Dina, I am the best in the world.
Cause that's the bottom line! Cause Stone Cold said so!
Wonderful wrestling fans, your host has arrived for another installment of the Wrestling Matters podcast. My name is Anthony Walker, your boy, the man behind the podcast. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, here to bring you the best news in the world of professional wrestling today. On today's show, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about a very interesting Raw, considering what happened involving John Cena. We'll get to that later. We're going to talk about Smackdown. We're also going to talk about NXT. A little bit of a build-up towards next week's June 8th. NXT TakeOver show, which was headlined by Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor in a steel cage, and probably Finn Balor's last dance on NXT before his move up to the main roster, but we'll see. Time will tell on that. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we will talk a TNA review as well, a little bit of a TNA talk as well on this show today. Yes, unfortunately it is, and you know what? I've missed TNA a couple of weeks. I haven't talked about it on the podcast, and from the sounds of it, ladies and gentlemen, I'm kind of glad I haven't, but that'll be another day for another dawn, I suppose. I don't really give a damn what's happening on Slammiversary at the moment, but considering what I saw this past week, which I'll get to later on, involving Jeff Hardy and one Matt Hardy, I tend to feel sorry for Matt and also mainly feel sorry for Jeff, because what the fuck are TNA thinking? I do not know, but more on that later on, ladies and gentlemen. Also, we're going to talk ICW as well. We're going to talk Ring of Honor. I hope Ring of Honor is back on the thing today so I can talk about it. I don't know, I haven't checked. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have the part one of the little chat that I did, Wrestling Zone with Michael Larkin. I will put the full episode of that up this week on SoundCloud and YouTube and whoever else is listening to this as well, and it'll be also up on my website as well, so be sure to check all of that out. You can also listen to the podcasts each and every week from this point on, ladies and gentlemen, and well, from a couple of weeks ago, but from this point on, ladies and gentlemen, you can now listen to the Wrestling Matters podcast each and every week on the HeadAnthonyWalker.net and the HeadAnthonyWalker.wix.com as well. I've got two websites at the moment, guys, but I'm branching out and trying to incorporate myself into one. Maybe I'll keep two. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see on that one. Maybe I can keep one for one and keep the other for the other. We have to wait and see, like I said. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk various other topics as well, including a bit of a hype towards Money in the Bank in terms of the Money in the Bank ladder match, and we'll get all to the other things as well later on. Also, ladies and gentlemen, please check out the Swerve Talk Network as well, because that's what this podcast is on. The Swerve Talk Network, each and every weekly show. It is involving me. I am on Mondays. It starts on Saturdays, involving Max Wrestling, Evan McCabe, Offshoot Radio, and my mentor himself, Kenny Killer, and Sunday Segway. So be sure to check them out each and every week. For more information on the Swerve Talk Network, check out their links in the description below on YouTube or SoundCloud, wherever you're seeing this as well. Be sure to check them out as well. And yeah, very interesting week this week, guys, in the terms of professional wrestling as well. Also, before I forgot to mention as well, check out Mystery Island as well. Check out their Facebook, Twitter pages, and their website as well. All of the links will be in the description below for upcoming things and upcoming sorts as well. I haven't had any information yet on what they need for me to promote. I will promote that. If I can, I'll promote it at the end of the show. If I can't, I'll promote it again. If there's any breaking news or anything like that, I'll promote it at the end of the show. But if there isn't, I will promote it and keep on promoting next week, because I am a partner of theirs and I'm very proud. Wrestling Matters Podcast is very proud to be a partner of the Mystery Island, considering what they've done for me in return, and I'm very, very appreciative of that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into some news. Hope you enjoyed the little extra show that I put on last week for you guys. I didn't want to wait. I was going to wait until this episode to do it, to say what I wanted to say about Cody Rhodes, but me and Billy did not know the ins and outs of the information about that, or about what was happening with Cody Rhodes on August 27th in, I believe it's Northeast or Northwest Wrestling. Allow me just to double check something here. He has got a match, because this whole 90-day release, no working day clause, whatever they do in WWE, when a talent of their who's on their roster leaves, they have this 90-day clause where they can't compete for any other promotions for 90 days. Why they have that, I do not fucking know. But hey, it is what it is at the end of the day. Check out Northeast Wrestling on YouTube, on Twitter for more information at New Wrestling 1, and Cody Rhodes is going to get a match that he probably, I think, from what I've gathered, he wants. Because Saturday, August 27th at 7 p.m. at Dutchess Stadium in New York City, in New York area. I have no idea how to pronounce that, so I apologize, but it's in the New York area anyway. Saturday, August 27th, as part of Northeast Wrestling Under the Stars, that is, Northeast Wrestling Under the Stars, Kurt Angle will go one-on-one with Cody Rhodes as the headline main match. That's right, the same Kurt Angle is going to be joining us for ICW in November as well. For more information on this event, go to www.northeastwrestling.com. Now, the reason why it's taking place August 27th, guys, is for build-up as well, but it's because this 90-day release, this 90-day clause where they can't compete, or this wrestler cannot compete for that promotion, or for any promotion rather, since he's left WWE, that breaks August 19th, my birthday. So Cody Rhodes will be clear to wrestle on that very day. Thank you, God, because I wouldn't mind seeing that myself. Also, ladies and gentlemen, What Culture Wrestling as well. Let's talk about What Culture. We always talk about What Culture on this podcast. Why? Because they're so fucking good. Let's talk about them. Let's talk about it. Let me do some typing here. I want to get something up. Because it seems What Culture Wrestling, ladies and gentlemen, who are based in Newcastle, about an hour away from where I live as well, it seems that they not only do good stuff like top tens and discussions and shit like that, as well as debates and maybe live stream here and there for WWE, which is what I'm trying to do in as well, because that is a very good idea. And plus, my WrestleMania one was a hit as well, and thank you very much for tuning in for that one on YouTube. But it seems, ladies and gentlemen, that What Culture Wrestling has their own wrestling promotion. You heard me correct, ladies and gentlemen. What Culture Wrestling has its own wrestling promotion. What Culture Pro Wrestling, WCPW. You heard me correct, ladies and gentlemen. And I am very, very much looking forward to this. There's an angle going about in the morning with Adam Blompier, who's the leader of this whole thing in a way. Somebody called Jack, because Adam's got Rampage Brown as his bodyguard as well. They've already brought that in. Yeah, Adam Blampier has his guy for the WCPW roster, which is Rampage Brown, like I mentioned as well. Be sure to check all this out, guys. You've got to check out What Culture Wrestling as well. Check out their website, check out their YouTube channel as well. But there is a match that is taking place on, I believe it's one of the live shows. I don't know which one it is, but I'll leave the link in the description below on YouTube. I've got it up on here. It's taking place because they're recording some live shows. They're doing some live shows that are coming up. Tickets are going fast for it, apparently, because it's already sold out, but apparently they're going to get a number more tickets as well. And one of the headline matches for one of the events is Ring of Honor World Champion Jay Lethal will be in action at WCPW as he defends his title against WWE Cruiserweight Series contender and ICW favorite, as well as Progress Wrestling 2 and Rev Pro Noam Dar. That's right. You will see, if you're going to any of these events, I think one of the events you're going to, I don't know where it is, I hope it's got the information in here. It's going to see Ring of Honor World Champion Jay Lethal defend the championship against Noam Dar. You do not get any better than that. I think this will take place after the Cruiserweight Series. I don't know, it might take place. They might somehow squeeze it in before that because the Cruiserweight Series is not until July. So, yeah, that should be an interesting thing. Now, also, it seems that they're doing a weekly series, and I'm going to make this announcement right now. I'm going to look into it. I'm going to look into it big and get some more information on it. But it seems that World Culture will be doing like a weekly wrestling show. I will start reviewing that show if it's true. I think they're building into it. I don't know when it's going to start. I haven't got that information yet from them. I'd like to get the information of where it's going to start because then I can review it on this show, and I will be more than happy to review it on this very show as well, should it take place. What they're going to call it, I don't know, but there's talk about it. So we may see a World Culture invasion of this Wrestling Matters podcast. Not that we don't anyway with the top 10s that I do and shit like that. But we may see What Culture Wrestling come to the Wrestling Matters podcast with their own show. So that'll be another wrestling promotion added to the collection of wrestling promotions that I talk about anyway. Like I talk about Progress on occasions, I talk about ICW, and the list goes on and on. I'm thinking and considering of checking out Rev Pro Wrestling as well. Maybe I could start talking about them and bringing them into it as well as Progress Wrestling as well and ICW. I've already gone into a plan of doing like what Kenny does. He does a retro roundtable, as you probably well saw it as well. A little plug for you there, Kenny, if you're listening, mate. Check it out. It's going old school on WWE. Now, when I started this podcast, I vowed never to copy anybody, to be original. I want to do something like that for the British wrestling scene as well, because I feel the British wrestling scene, because it's so fucking hot at the moment, we need to start talking about the British wrestling scene. We need to start putting all these promotions out there, like ICW, Progress Wrestling, Rev Pro Wrestling, WCPW if it comes out, although I'll probably talk about it on this podcast anyway, but we need to talk about it, more in depth as well. We need to talk about the other promotions out there as well. If there's any other, like PCW and that, we need to get them, we need to give British wrestling the recognition it deserves, because it's so hot at the moment, and why not talk about it? So hopefully we can get that done, and hopefully we can get that sorted out. And if World Culture Wrestling ever listen to this, I'm very much looking forward to seeing what you bring to the table. And there's a comment that I've just read here. It says WCPW is the UK NXT. It may very well be. It may very well be. We have to wait and see on that one. But like I say, it's very interesting to see what these guys will bring to the table. I hope they stream some of their shows. I hope they stream the shows that they've got in the live shows so I can watch it myself, because I'll take great pleasure in sitting back and watching it, believe you me. But like I say, guys, we have to wait and see how all this pans out as well. But like I say, guys, it's very, very, very interesting indeed. Right, I'm going to wrap up part 1 there, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll be back in part 2 with the Raw audio. A very intense, a very good Raw, and I'll talk about it more in part 3 as well as bring you Smackdown and NXT, TNA, ICW, as well as Ring of Honor as well. So all that is to come on the podcast, plus Michael Larkin part 1. It's a jam-packed show, guys. Stay tuned. If you like the Wrestling Matters podcast, why not check out their Facebook page at facebook.com/WM podcast and like the page and show your support to the podcast that stands up for professional wrestling, the Wrestling Matters podcast. Wrestling Matters, wrestling fans. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to part 2 of the Wrestling Matters podcast. My name is Anthony Walker, in case you've just tuned in. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do something different in this episode, in this part today, guys. Normally I'd play the Raw audio. I'm not going to this week. It was very, very poor. Look back on it. I've had people on my wrestling channel, you know who you are, telling me, oh yes, the audio is lagging and on the video and everything. I'm ashamed to even put it up, to be honest with you. I don't know why I even left it up. I've got people telling me on my wrestling channel and shit that things I already know. So what I'm investing to do, guys, there will be no more. I want to try something out this week, But there'll be no more live streaming during Google Hangout anymore because I'm done with it, okay? Yes, I haven't got bad connections and everything, but I am now working towards quality on that channel right now. Starting as of right now, guys, as I'm doing this podcast and everything and whatever else I start to do, because I'm working to get some few things. I've done some research on something. Hopefully, the quality video that will be coming to that channel as well. Yes, I'll be still doing Raw reviews and WWE pay-per-view reviews, maybe a few reactions here and there, all in the world of professional wrestling and all to do with the world of professional wrestling as well. So we have to wait and see on that one. I want to ask a few people, drug a few people around and everything, but Google Hangouts is no more. I am done with that, okay? I uploaded 3 reaction videos of the night of the pay-per-view. Then I did the Raw review, I did the pay-per-view review as well, the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, and I did it on the Google Hangouts, and it was 1,200 views, and the 6 likes and 10 dislikes, that doesn't matter to me. But when I look back, I had people coming on saying it was alright and everything, still enjoyed it, and I appreciate that you did. But then I had somebody else come on and say that it was all lagging and I was calling and everything, telling me something that I already knew, trying to be a smart ass and everything. But at the end of the day, it really didn't matter. But at the end of the day, he was right, I was wrong, and things need to change on that channel. So there'll be no more Raw reviews. No more Raw reviews until I can get this sorted out at this moment in time. So, yeah, hang in tight for that, guys. I'm changing things as we do it because, like I say, I'll do anything. Criticism is welcome on that channel. As long as it's sensible criticism, it is welcome on that channel. Okay? Or on any channel, like my channel, the Wrestling Matters channel, or it's welcome on the games channel as well. Anything to help me improve, because I really want to improve, guys, and do the best thing that I can do. So this week, guys, we're going to go through the main points of Monday Night Raw. A very intriguing Monday Night Raw, if you will. Why is it intriguing? Well, it's intriguing because of what happened. That's right. Involving one John Cena. I did a review on that as well. And, that actually worked out. Over 300 views on that. 3 likes, 3 dislikes. But I'm guessing people didn't like the fact that AJ turned heel. Which is, to be fair, true. Yes, for those of you that didn't know, I'll talk about it now. John Cena came out saying that he was belonging in the new era and questioned himself whether he belonged in the new era and everything, and said that the future of the company has to go through the face that runs the place. AJ Styles came out, shook his hand. Gallows and Anderson came out, didn't take too kindly to AJ sucking up, in their terms, to John Cena, and everybody thought there was going to be a tag match involving, some kind of tag team fight involving Cena, AJ, and 2 members of the club. But that swerved, didn't it? It all changed that point. Why did it change at that point? Because the minute John Cena took his hat off and his shirt off and threw to the crowd, he turns around and takes a right hand from AJ Styles, and the beatdown ensues. And I have to admit, I saw some great reactions on that during the week as well. One in particular by Luge Mania as well. You see her on YouTube if you know her. She does like raw reactions, like 2-minute raw reaction videos on YouTube and everything, and she never expected that. She's a big John Cena mark, and also she was wondering about Randy Orton, whether Randy Orton wanted to come out and everything like that, which was not going to happen. But it was cool nonetheless, and it was, and like I said in that reaction video, that little reaction video that I did, I didn't do like a proper reaction video of it because I didn't even know it was going to take place, but I wanted to give my little thought on it. Like I said, John Cena said the new era has to go through him. I don't think the club have a problem with that, particularly AJ Styles. And I'll say this right now, guys, it has been announced the dream match that we've all been waiting for is going to take place at Money in the Bank. Since John Cena, or since AJ Styles is not going to be in Money in the Bank, it's going to be John Cena one-on-one with AJ Styles at Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Oh, excuse me. And I will hope that Mr. Cena does what he did to Kevin Owens last year and put him over, quite frankly. So as I'm giving it right now, even though I'll do predictions on it this week as well, I'll record predictions this week for the channel. or sometime next week as well for the channel once everything is sorted out. But actually, I have an idea for that as well. I'll do predictions, but I've just come up with an idea there. Thinking on the fly, guys. Thinking on the fly. Now, also, who will earn Money in the Bank? We'll have to see, won't we? Who is going to earn Money in the Bank? And it seems they've changed some things at the last minute in terms of Money in the Bank, guys. Why? Because the main event on Raw was a 6-man tag involving Alberto Del Rio, Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho going against Sami Zayn, Cesaro, and Dean Ambrose, which Dean Ambrose managed to get the win. And the Plan 7 Money in the Bank ladder match people that was supposed to be taking place has now been dropped down to 6, which in a way is a smart move, to be honest with you, because I think it's too much with 7, a little bit too much with 7. So with that being said, guys, it's going to be 6 members in the Money in the Bank now. So the 6 that you've seen on Raw and SmackDown this week, I'll get to SmackDown in a bit, they will be on the Money in the Bank. Question is, who's going to win it? Well, all these rumors flying about that Kevin Owens are going to win it. Well, guess we'll have to wait and see on that one. A little thing going down with Titus O'Neil. Now, it seems that Titus O'Neil, after receiving a suspension from Vince McMahon for something that was completely stupid, seems to be in the good graces because he seems to be building towards a title match, a United States title match. After Rusev demolished Jack Swagger, and claims to be a great American, or yada, yada, yada. I think it was Jack Swagger, or either Jack Swagger or Zack Ryder. It was one of them. I believe it was Zack Ryder. Either way, that's not the story of the match. The story of the match was Titus O'Neil came out and took exception to what Rusev was saying and proceed to challenge him to a match. Not only that, absolutely punching him in his jaw and knocking him on his ass, which I thought was fucking great, to be honest with you. I never saw that out with Titus. And with Darren Young doing this Bob Backlund thing, what the fuck that is, I do not know. Some sort of Donald Trump angle, I suppose you could say. Like I said, what the fuck that is, I do not know. And quite frankly, I could care less. It seems that Titus O'Neil is getting some sort of push that he deserves. Will he be the US champion? No. I'm not calling that one bit. But we'll have to wait and see. You never know with WWE, they could pull the trigger. My guessing is 100%. Unfortunately, Titus O'Neil will not be US champion. They need to keep the belt on Rusev to be that strong monster heel that he was before he met John Cena at WrestleMania. Because it seems every time you build up a monster, you run him into John Cena and the thing goes down the toilet again. So, hopefully, and there's rumours flying around that there's going to be a Rusev and John Cena match again. I'm hoping not, quite frankly. And if it is, I hope it's somewhere down the pipeline, somewhere down the road. But hopefully Rusev can have a better run with the United States champion and be built, like Billy said last week on the podcast, and be built to a complete monster like he once was, like I said, before he met John Cena at Mania. So, that about covers Raw. Oh yeah, there's a tag team match brewing between Becky Lynch, Natalya, Dana Brooke, and Charlotte. Less said about that, the better, quite frankly. And then also as well, the rumours are flying around. There's rumours flying around, like I've mentioned many, many times, guys, that Sasha Banks will be winning the World Women's title at SummerSlam. But it seems this injury that she has is making Vince McMahon question. I think I mentioned this last week. I'll talk about it briefly now. It's not the fucking first time Vince McMahon's had questions about something, hasn't he? Should he take the risk? Fuck yeah, he should take the risk. Sasha Banks has got more talent. She is the boss. And hopefully, why not make her the boss of the women's division by putting the women's title on her and giving her a good run? I think it should work. I think it should happen, but like I say, we all know what Vince McMahon is like, ladies and gentlemen. We've all come to know that as well. Now, the club engaged in a war of words with New Day and then challenged them to a match. Well, Kofi challenged AJ to a AJ challenged Kofi, to a match. I'll get to that in a second. Dudley Boys beat Golden Truth, who 5 months of build can't fucking win a match to save their life. Charlotte gets beat by DQ from Becky Lynch. Sami Zayn and Dean Ambrose beat Del Rio and Kevin Owens. Again, Kofi and it was Zack Ryder on Raw, guys. The Jack Swagger thing was on SmackDown. So Zack Ryder was on Raw. And Kofi Kingston and Styles were the main event, which saw a great match actually. I happened to get to see a little glimpse of this match. But going to Golden Truth, is anybody sick of this as I am? Seriously? I mean, 5 months built to get these two together. I'm talking about R-Truth and Goldust. And they've lost 3 matches on the trot. And they're having this stupid feud with Breezango or Gold Breeze or whatever the fuck they're calling themselves. Tyler Breeze and Fandango. Like I've said, if Tyler Breeze can get over in this and get back to that level, no problem. Not a problem whatsoever. But the thing that fucks me over on this is you built this team for 5 months, you give us like a 5-month storyline into the point where eventually they get together and they haven't won a match yet. Maybe JBL was right, maybe they should just split, but I guess give them time, I suppose. Give them time, they might come around, but I doubt it. I'm not convinced. They haven't convinced me yet, but then again, New Day convinced me, didn't they? So, we'll see how it goes. And yes, the New Day, New Day's Kofi Kingston and won AJ Styles. And AJ ended up winning with the Pele kick, which Kofi came back in, while Gallows and Anderson were taking care of Woods and Langston on the outside, sorry. And hard-fought match. He hits him with a Pele kick and ends it with a Styles Clash, ladies and gentlemen. So much for the Styles Clash being banned. So, all in all, a very tasty, if I could say tasty, Monday night Raw and Smackdown as well. Now, don't get me wrong, Smackdown and Raw have been very good since WrestleMania, since this whole change. Hopefully, Smackdown will go up to a new level once the brand extension on July 19th comes around the corner. But, I've heard some news that I don't like, ladies and gentlemen. There is some reports. I'm not going to go into it briefly. I'll talk about it during the week if some things pop up. But I want to bring you guys the truth on what I've heard, and I want to give my opinions on the truth. I don't want to see some phony fucks like I saw on Facebook this past week post a fucking an article which totally wasn't fucking true. I fucking hate that shit. At least when I post articles or when I talk about stuff on this show, guys, or whether I do when I eventually end up doing the reviews and the videos, when I talk about stuff, 99% of it is true. You don't have to agree with what I say, but at least 99% of it is true. Maybe 100, I don't know. But like I say, you don't have to agree with it. That's the beauty about being a wrestling fan, guys. Everybody has an opinion. Difference of opinion, whatever you want to say. But what drives me fucking crazy is seeing these phony fucks, printing or posting articles on Facebook just to get a reaction and just to get something that was totally, completely untrue. And it makes me fucking vomit. I don't mind telling you. Absolutely vomit. And it drives me up. It literally just drives me insane, guys. I'm going to stop talking about it because I'll go into a rant. And I don't want to do that. So, all the build-up now on NXT is to June 8th, which is Finn Balor one-on-one with Samoa Joe at NXT The End. And this has to end, ladies and gentlemen. No matter what, this has to end. This has got to end. If this doesn't end, then quite frankly, it never will. I'll just give these little hints out right now. Nia Jax attacked Asuka on NXT as well, sending a statement that she wants to be the champion after she dominated Bayley. Let's see if I can put this up as well. Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. For those of you that are involved, somebody's worst nightmare. Certain Drew Galloway's worst nightmare at the moment, anyway, involved. Him and Tommaso Ciampa went up against the rival tag team, the guys who I call the modern day brainbusters, because they're fucking that as well, which is just fucking great. It really is. Unbelievable tag match, great tag match all around. I've seen bits of it. I've seen the whole match in general as well. There's a tag team that I'd like to see on Raw get what they deserve. The Revival. Don't get me wrong, Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa can do something good as well. No question about that. But in terms of tag team solidarity, wow, it's a fucking big word for me. But in terms of the Revival, are so good at the moment, and I love them. They really are. Smash mouth, hard-hitting style, and I love them at the moment. And, yep, they're not the number one tag team in NXT at the moment, because the number one tag team are the champions. Alpha Male, is it? Chad Gable and Jason Jordan. So hopefully they'll get their belts back, but they have got a good future. There's no doubt about it. And that attack by Asuka and by Nia Jax on Asuka was for the takeover match involving Asuka defending the women's championship against Nia Jax as well. And it seems that the Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano want to be NXT Tag Team Champions. Will they be next in line? They obviously got one over on the Revival and cut a huge promo backstage which is on the WWE Network. WWE.com, and they are calling out the tag team champions because they reckon they deserve to be back in the ring with them. Great team, and Johnny Gargano's good, man. He really is good. Like him a lot. So, with that being said, guys, hope you guys have enjoyed this extended version of part 2. I don't normally do this, but hey, first time for everything. So, hope you guys have enjoyed that. I'll be back in part 3 with TNA. Do I have to talk about this as well? I suppose I have to. It's what I do on this show, guys. I talk about, the main points. But there's one thing I'm not really looking forward to. I already promised that I was going to do a rant on Michael Larkin's show on June 25th, which we will be recording for his shows and everything. So I might as well get the warm-up out of the way, guys. Of the worst, probably, segment I've ever seen in my life. What the hell are TNA thinking? But anyway, I'll be back. You listen to it after this.
There's only one wrestling podcast that gives you honest, uncut opinions and the most unique trivia since WWE did The Weakest Link. And the only place you can hear the show-stealing podcast promo every single week.
Covering WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, Lucha Underground. Max Wrestling Podcast is the place for you. Join myself, Evan Money Michaela, the Phoenix, and the Butcher. Sundays at 7 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. Eastern time with your host, Danny Dangerously, on VOC Nation and the Swerve Talk Network.
Go to maxwrestling.wix.com/maxwrestling or follow us at Max Wrestling UK for more details.
Give in to the madness.
Be sure to listen to the Sunday Segway Wrestling Podcast.
What?
Every Sunday with Kenny Killer and the Galdem Sugar Shubs.
Yes! Yes!
With all the news, views, and laughter that you want.
They like jet airplanes. Woo! They like long limousines.
Every Sunday, the Sunday Segway Wrestling Podcast on Podomatic, iTunes, and YouTube.
So why don't you choke on that, slap nut?
Right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back on the Wrestling Matters podcast, and I'm going to talk about TNA. That was headlined by Pick Your Poison match, which saw Bram and Lashley go at it, as well as Drew Galloway meeting Decay. Kicked off with an in-ring promo, backstage segment, all of that. EC3 and involved Lashley and Galloway too. First match was a Pick Your Poison match, Bobby Lashley versus Bram, and Bram wins by DQ. Bram defend the King of the Mountain title, which I'm guessing Eli Drake cashes in the Feast of Fire after contract after Bobby Lashley lays out Bram, and Drake ends up being the champion. The winner and new King of the Mountain champion, Eli Drake. EC3, Earl Hebner, and Mike Bennett backstage segment. Third match was Tyrus and Rockstar Sport meet Bromains, the number one contenders for the tag team titles, since they can't work with Matt Hardy anymore, and Bromains beat them. So it'll be Bromains challenging for the titles. I'm guessing it's an anniversary. Ethan Carter III, Marie Kanellis, Gail Kim in-ring segment, along with Selena. If I got that wrong, I apologize. And they had a match as well, Gail Kim and Jade versus Cena, and Ali. That's two new chicks for me. If I've pronounced them names wrong, I've never seen them before. That's the first time I've seen them. If I've pronounced them wrong, I apologise. I'm not very good with names, as you can probably tell. And Gail Kim and Jade won either way. Oh, God. Mike Bennett and Ethan Carter third segment, and first segment involving the Jeff Hardy North Carolina trip with Matt Hardy, finding him in his home. I'll get to that in a second. James Storm and Mike Bennett. Mike Bennett ends up beating him and all that. Al Snow, Jai Bruni, Shearer, and Grado in segment, which sees a beatdown. And this feud will not die between Snow, Grado, and Shearer. And, Drew beats Decay. Now, I gotta talk, ladies and gentlemen. I've already planned a rant for this on the S&M Show podcast that I'll be doing at the end of the month. Don't misunderstand me, guys. It's a simple way. I cannot believe what I witnessed. And don't get me wrong, if you haven't seen it, go and find it. Also, check out the director's cut that is on YouTube. A contract signing that featured Matt Hardy and Jeff. And Rebby Sky comes out and tells Jeff that she's had enough and Matt's gone crazy, which, to be honest with you, is right. And then they get into this little talk segment in their house, and then they go into this little garage or stable, whatever the fuck it was, with a ring in there and a table at the side. They have this contract signing. Rebby Sky comes in, distracts Jeff. Matt attacks Jeff from behind and then side effects him through the table. What the fuck was I witnessing on that day? What the fuck did I see in that fucking video? It was the worst thing I've ever seen in my fucking life as a wrestling fan. I'm sorry. And I know it's not Jeff's fault. And I know it's not Matt's fault. And don't get me started on Matt Hardy. Okay? We all know at the end of the day, Matt Hardy heel turn works. We all know that. We've seen it before, whether we want to admit it. Okay? What the fuck TNA have done with Matt Hardy at this moment in time with that look he's got is fucking beyond belief. Jeff Hardy is the crazy son of a bitch and the better Hardy. Whether we like it, whether Matt likes it or not, at the end of the day, 100% people know, 100% of wrestling fans know that Matt Hardy is the second to Jeff. We all know that. Whatever happened to a normal contract signing? Did they really have to book this? Whatever happened to just a normal, contract signing in there? This wasn't anything to do with wrestling. This wasn't even a contract signing. Yeah, Matt Hardy signed the contract. Whoop, you fucking knew. This was like a fucking bad soap opera or bad episode of a soap, which was poorly booked. And I can think of a lot of things right now, a lot of people that I speak to, or that, everybody has their opinions and everything. They fucking hated it. They were wondering what the fuck were they watching. It was god awful. And Brother Nero, good. I mean, Michael Larkin said it best. Good fucking God. I mean, Jesus. I don't know what the fuck's going on in TNA. They do an in-ring product, great in-ring product and everything. We all know that. Some of the matches they've had this year has been phenomenal. But again, booking strikes again, ladies and gentlemen. Booking strikes again. And whoever's booked that wants fucking shooting. Seriously. Oh, man. It was the worst thing I've ever seen in wrestling. And I don't care what anyone says. I don't care. All the fans are going to bash me for this. Say what you want. You're entitled to your opinions, guys. And that's what the beauty about professional wrestling is about. Like I've said many, many times on this podcast, as well as other things. But that was horrible. I'm sorry. Flat out horrible. Unbelievable as well. I mean, just, you say best when you say nothing at all. No, I think many wrestling fans have plenty to say about that, trust. I just hope they have a better match for all of this at the pay-per-view June 12th. Just mind-boggling. Absolutely mind-boggling. In any event, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap that up there for TNA. And I'll be back right after this quick timeout, ladies and gentlemen, with Ring of Honor and ICW. Plus, part 1 of the Michael Larkin Wrestling Zone that I did with him as well. New episode, part 1, takes place later on towards the end. Plus, a few other things as well. Got a little promotions involving Mystery Island and stuff like that, so stay tuned. If you like the Wrestling Matters Podcast, why not follow the Wrestling Matters Podcast now on Twitter at WM Podcast for all professional wrestling news. Wrestling Matters, wrestling fans. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the fourth part of the Wrestling Matters Podcast. Hope you guys are enjoying the podcast so far. ACH kicks off Ring of Honor. That's right, we're going to go straight into it, guys. It's Ring of Honor and ICW. I'm going to go through what happened and the main talking points and give you my opinion. Ring of Honor is back this week. Ring of Honor TV was back. Great show. Kicked off with ACH, match-wise. Kicked off with ACH and Lio Rush. Great little match. Great little one-on-one match because ACH is now broke away on his own. He's told Matt Sydal that he wants to break away on his own. And now he is in singles competition now. He's a singles wrestler now. And ACH managed to get the win over Lio Rush. But Silas Young, who's at ringside, spoils the party by attacking not only Lio Rush, but brutally attacking ACH as well. What for? I don't know. Maybe Silas Young wants to be the man to teach ACH what it's like to be a real man. A little segment involving RPG Vice, I'll just say that, and Motor City Machine Guns and The Addiction turned into a three-way match. Now, The Addiction was sick and tired of getting disrespected, and they put up this. They put up a match, a three-way match, which saw The Addiction versus Vice, RPG Vice, and Motor City Machine Guns, and whoever beat the Addiction, whoever beat them would be the number one contenders to the Addiction. That means whichever team gets the pin on the Addiction, if they beat the Addiction, they would be the number one contenders and get a tag team title shot at Best in the World. Lo and behold, ladies and gentlemen, the Motor City Machine Guns got the victory and they will get a title shot at Best in the World. Now, when Best in the World comes up June 25th, I will be looking for it on the internet because it's a match I want to see. And it was announced by Nigel McGuinness because of what happened with BJ Whitmer, which I haven't seen yet, and I will look for that video. It had BJ Whitmer stalking Steve Corino, Mr. Wrestling 3, whatever you want to call him, stalking his wife and kid. A little bit over the top, I would probably say, but it is what it is. And thanks to Nigel McGuinness, Steve Corino gets his wish, and they will wrestle at the pay-per-view Best in the World in a fight without honor match. It's been signed. We all knew it was going to happen eventually. It's going to happen June 25th at Best in the World. Adam Page. Now, if you thought Adam Cole joining the Bullet Club was something, Adam Page has joined the Bullet Club as well. That's right. BJ Whitmer's former protege is now the newest member of the Bullet Club. Raising hell, a new, more dangerous Bullet Club. What would they do? I don't know. But one goal is for them to take over Ring of Honor. That's for damn sure. It has been crystal clear on that. Yoshitatsu and Tanahashi and Elgin took on the elite of the Bullet Club, which was the Young Bucks and the Bullet Club. The Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, sorry. I'm a little off key at the moment, so I apologize for that. And the elite of the Bullet Club win, and they had some 6-man tag team titles in Japan. This is what they had because they're based in Japan. Then they wrestle for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Maybe they ought to do that in the American ones as well. Bring some 6-man tag team titles into it. You know, only if it's the right thing to do, though, because you don't want too many belts at the end of the day. So that was it for Ring of Honor, quite frankly, and it was great, as it always is. Ring of Honor brings great wrestling each and every week. It's good to have it back on as normal, and yeah, interesting to see what happens next week when Donovan Dijak goes one-on-one with Jay Lethal, and that's the match I'm looking forward to see because, well, considering Donovan Dijak breaking away from the House of Truth, he'll have a chance to really break away next week. ICW Fight Club. Tam the Ram took on Aaron Echo with the Rich Kids of Instagram at ringside, and Aaron Echo managed to get the victory, and then Ravy Davey sends him a message. Ravy Davey is looking to take out the Rich Kids of Instagram. Now, Wee Man sends Davey Boy a message, which was very intriguing. He sends him a message forcing him to choose. Is it going to be Wee Man? Is it going to be Joe Hendry? I guess we'll find out. At the beginning, Red Lightning and the Black Label pulled up Thomas Kearns and decided to force him to read his message, that is, if he wanted his job back. Thomas Kearns had no choice and reluctantly did it. So now he's back in the ring. I'll go with the other matches as well. I'll save the main talking point. ICW 0G title match which was the main event, so Lionheart and BT Gunn go at it in an epic match, great little match, and Lionheart manages to go and get the win. A 55 miscue allows Joe Coffey to beat them in a handicap match, and it seems that there's distinction in the 55 as well. The remaining two members of the 55, Kid Fight and Shah Samuels. Lewis Garvin wins his great wrestling match, great one-on-one match with Chris Ridgway, sorry. Yeah, shows respect at the end, which I never thought I'd see, but, it was a great match and two great wrestlers. Chris Ridgway and Lewis Garvin. Chris Ridgway, for those of you who may have seen him in TNT Wrestling, he put up a fight, man, but Lewis Garvin manages to get the win. Now, for the main talking point in wrestling, the main talking point in ICW, which saw, ladies and gents, it saw DCT going one-on-one with Wolfgang, is what it was. And Brian didn't come out, actually, at the end. DCT got destroyed by Wolfgang, got battered by Wolfgang. Bram came out and put a beating on him. Legit put a beating on him. Viper came out to save the day, didn't do anything. Wolfgang put her in her place and cut her down. And Wolfgang put her in her place, tied her up like she was Andre the Giant in the ropes, and forced her to watch Brian pile drive DCT just like he did to her at Shug's house party last year. Not only did he pile drive him, he also managed to do something I never thought I'd see, quite frankly, and that was shave DCT's tash off. So at July 31st, Shug's house party, this feud is going to get more personal than it already is, and it'll all culminate at Shug's house party in the end of the month, July 31st. Make sure you've got your tickets. If you ain't going to the show, don't worry, it's going to be on the on-demand service, and that's why you should subscribe to the on-demand service, ladies and gentlemen. ICW On Demand, because it is the place to be, and it is worth the price of admission, and believe you me, take it from somebody who knows, because I am a subscriber. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap up this part here. I'll be back right after part 1 of the Michael Larkin interview, so stick around and enjoy. I'll be back with some promos and some stuff like that in the final part even. I'll just go with that. So, see you in a bit. If you like the Wrestling Matters podcast, why not check out their Facebook page at facebook.com/WM podcast and like the page and show your support to the podcast that stands up for professional wrestling, the Wrestling Matters podcast. Wrestling Matters, wrestling fans. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. That's right, we're back as part of the Wrestling Matters podcast production. We are back for another installment of Wrestling Zone with Michael Larkin. Yes, he's back. Say hello, Michael.
How are you, Wrestling Matters podcast fans? Happy to be back, Anthony.
Yes, we've got a lot of things to talk about, haven't we? There's a few things that have cropped up as well.
Yes, we do.
A little bit of rumours, a little bit of brand split, and Smackdown going live in July. Yep. Also, the Cruiserweight tournament as well. We can talk about that. NXT. And yeah, we'll talk TNA as well with the Slammiversary as well. So all of that is to come. But first of all, let's kick off. You might as well talk about it since you brought it up before we went on air. Mm-hmm. And since you've got it, let's talk about it. Slammiversary. Why not?
All right,
let's do it.
Yep.
Over to you.
Updated. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be good. I mean, what I will note is the Bromans, Robbie E and Jesse Goddard. This is one of the matches we'll talk first. They're going to be challenging the Decay, Crazy Steve and Abyss, for the Tag Team Championship. And it looks like they have a new manager or trainer, whatever she is, Raquel, who is formerly Gabby from the Tough Enough competition. I mean, last time we saw her, she was with Bobby Lashley as, his pain or pleasure, whatever it was. And now I guess she's like the trainer for the Bromans.
Yeah. I think Decay will win that match. If we're going for predictions, I think Decay will win that. I can't see them getting the belts dropped, and I don't know what they could do with Bromans.
Well, the question I got to ask you: what do you think about them transitioning from from heels to baby faces?
It seems to work.
It does.
It seems to work. I don't know if it works 100% from what I've seen with TNA. Would I prefer them as heels? Probably. But if they can get over as baby faces, then more power to them. But I suppose the baby faces now, because let's face it, I don't think they'd be able to compete with Decay if you're talking about heels, because Decay are over as fuck in terms of their heel work. So I don't know if they'll be able to compete with them in that. That's why they're probably baby faces. But yeah, I'd probably go with Decay to retain. They are the Tag Team Champions, aren't they? Decay.
Yes, they are the Tag.
Yeah, I'd have to go for Decay to retain. And is it Gabrielle?
Which one?
The chick who's with Bromans.
The one that's with Bromans is Gabby from Tough Enough, and she's now Raquel. Yeah, she's Raquel now.
Is that Eddie's daughter? Or Eddie's relation?
No, that's No, that's oh god, I know that's Shaw Guerrero. That's different girl. That's Raquel Diaz from NXT, different girl.
Oh, right. That was probably back in the day when she couldn't get over.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Raquel Diaz. Yeah, well, it's funny you mentioned her because she's actually the wife or fiance of Aiden English of the Vaudevillains currently in WWE.
Yeah. Yeah. Aiden English of the Vaudevillains.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Vaudevillain is a Guerrero.
Yep.
So, hey, more power to them.
Power to them, yeah. And the other match is
Yeah, what's the next match?
The other match. Yeah, the next match that we have here is Jade defends the Knockouts Championship against Sienna, Maria's, enforcer, or whatever you want to call it.
I think Jade will win that. That's a Jade hands down on that one.
Me too. It's going to be a good match, though.
Yeah, I think that needs improving, though, the Knockouts division.
They do.
Unfortunately. But I see Jade winning this match. That's my prediction.
And now we have another women's match here. Gail Kim goes one-on-one with Maria Kanellis.
Gail Kim.
Yep, me too.
Yeah. Maria, sorry, Maria, but you're not in her league.
Yeah.
You're not in her league.
And the thing is, she's been getting so ridiculed, Gail Kim, by her, and, she's been attacked by her. I think it's time for Gail Kim to get her just due.
Mm-hmm. And even way, if you're talking about wrestling-wise, like I said,
Gail Kim Maria can't hold a candle to it.
Yeah, exactly. I think Maria would be best off as being a manager. I said, what I call it, to be honest with you, Maria and Mike Bennett should have stayed in Ring of Honor, to be honest with you, and still done the Kingdom, but that's just me.
Well, speaking of Mike Bennett, we also now have Mike Bennett goes one-on-one again with Ethan Carter III in the rematch, so I'm going with Ethan Carter III.
I'll go with EC3 all day, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I don't get Mike. I don't get this miracle Mike Bennett, and quite frankly, like I just said then, he should have stayed in Ring of Honor.
I mean, I get if it's kind of like a play off the Kingdom, and they're kind of making him like the pro wrestling Jesus. But yeah, I kind of prefer him more in Ring of Honor myself.
Yeah, he hasn't quite clicked with me in TNA, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I like him, but yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling about it.
Yeah,
and then we also yeah,
he hasn't quite clicked with me, and like I said, Maria's got no business being in a wrestling ring, to be honest with you. Nothing against her, but putting her in the ring with Gail Kim, like you correctly say, she can't hold a candle to Gail Kim.
And the thing is with Maria is, I mean, she's not like terrible like some people are, but when she was in WWE, when she was as an interviewer, she was fine, but when she got in the ring, it was kind of bleh.
Yeah, like I say, it didn't work for me. Hasn't quite clicked with me, this Mike Bennett thing, but like I say, I'm going with EC3. So,
well, then we have the top two matches. We'll go with this one first. Jeff Hardy goes one-on-one with Matt Hardy in a Full Metal Mayhem match.
What the fuck is happened to Matt Hardy? The guy gets fucking swan-tombed through the fucking table from Jeff off the bat when Jeff jumps off the balcony, that crazy swan-tomb I've seen in a while. And then he turns into Willow.
Brother Nero.
Yeah, it's just whatever. But I'm going with Jeff on that one. Jeff will get his revenge, and Jeff will beat the piss out of him for going into his character.
I'll go with you on that. I'm going with Jeff, but I guess I get the whole turning Matt nuts because of his brother's popularity and just his brother getting all the glory and all that, which they've done in WWE before, but this is like to a whole nother level. But yeah, I'm going with Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff Hardy will always be the superior Hardy in that team. I don't care what anyone says. Okay, there may be some Matt fans out there listening to this, there may be some Matt fans watching this or whatever the fuck. Jeff Hardy will always go down as the better Hardy, bar none. WWE, TNA, whatever promotion they're in, can try and do this to the point where Matt's better, it ain't going to work. Period.
The only other thing that I'll mention with the Hardys out here is, well, out here in the Northeast, in New York, actually in August, I'm looking forward to. Northeast Wrestling's actually putting on a show where Matt Hardy's going against Kurt Angle. It's kind of like a double main event. That match, Matt's going to face Kurt Angle, and Jeff Hardy, for the first time ever, will be taking on Jushin Thunder Liger.
Wow. That's going to be good.
It will. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
It's this summer.
I'm looking forward to another match in NXT, but we'll get to that later. What's
yes,
next?
We will. Well, we're actually at the main event.
Oh.
It is the man who stands up for professional wrestling, Drew Galloway, defends the TNA World Heavyweight Championship against Lashley in a match where the match must end via knockout or tap out.
I see Galloway winning this.
I do,
and
too.
I think he'll make what I call a tap out, to be honest. I see him making Lashley tap out. I don't see him knocking him out. I think anyone who's going if there's anyone who's going to be winning by knockout, if it has to be that way, Lashley will win by knockout. But I see Lashley being tapped out here.
I agree with you. I was going to say Drew wins, but I definitely see Lashley winning it down the line again because I enjoyed him when he was TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
Oh yeah, he win it down the line, but the question is who will he beat though? Because I think what they're going to do with Drew is I think they might have him as a year champion again, like they've done with other ones. Because they've seen his work with Evolve, they've seen his work with ICW. Hell, he created the World Heavyweight Championship in ICW. So, I think they'll get him in that way. I think they'll have him push him as a year-long champion, so that he can get the belt over and try and get to the belt where the level it should be, which is easier said than done.
Agree. I mean, the only other thing I could say about Slammiversary, because that's the updated card right now, I think the other match that they might add, because I'll throw a spoiler alert for people who don't know, Eli Drake beats Bram on Impact, I don't know if it's this week or next week, for the King of the Mountain Championship. He cashes in the Feast or Fired briefcase. So I think we'll do a rematch between Eli Drake and Bram at this pay-per-view.
Bram beats Eli, Eric Young, and he has to drop the title to Eli Drake.
Yep.
Whatever on that one. Way to kill the prestige of the King of the Mountain title. What's Eli Drake done? He hasn't done that much. Big Whoop, he won the fucking Feast of Five case. Gets into this weird angle with Grado.
Well, I was going to say, he comes in with Drew Galloway and Micah as the Rising, then he turns on Galloway, then he's going against Grado, and now he's doing the whole dummy, and calling everybody.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and now he's going to be the next, and now he's apparently the next in line to win the King of the Mountain title.
Yep.
Whatever. Just makes no sense to me.
Somebody likes that guy. Hello, John Gabor.
Oh, yeah. Somebody likes him in TNA, no doubt. Yeah, so is that about it on that one then?
That's the card. I just added the Eli Drake thing because I think that's what they're going to add because right now it's just those 6 matches.
Okay. Right, let's talk about NXT then. Because there's 2 matches that have been announced.
Anthony, I have the card up. Do you want to go through the card?
Go.
Okay.
Go. If you've got the card.
Give me one second. Where was it? What's the name of this takeover? Is it just Takeover?
Apparently it's just Takeover. It takes place June 8th, and it's at the, what they call it, the...
Seoul University.
Seoul University, so it's just about the Takeover.
There it is. All right, we'll go through. There's 4 matches announced, and we'll talk about the 2 big ones, because I definitely want to talk about those with you. Yeah. We have American Alpha, Jason Jordan and Chad Gable, defending against the Revival in a rematch from the last Takeover for the tag titles.
I saw this coming. Like I said, I was just speaking to Billy about this as we record this. I just recorded the new episode of the podcast coming Monday. You're probably hearing it now as this is out. I saw this coming because they're expected a rematch. So I kind of saw this coming.
Yeah, and I'm picking Jordan Gable to retain.
Yeah, Jordan Gable to retain all day long.
And I'm looking forward to it. Those guys killed it last month in Dallas.
Yeah. Question is, will they do it again? I think they will, but I don't think they'll steal the show.
What do you think about those guys?
I don't think they'll steal the show this time around. They had the potential to steal the show the last time in Dallas, but courtesy of what else is on the card, I don't think they'll be stealing the show in this one.
Did you see those new guys that just debuted for them, the TT61 or whatever it is now in NXT, those new guys? They just wrestled this week on NXT against Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. They're very good.
Yes. NXT, I like them. NXT's building a great tag team roster. And that's the base for the tag team titles in WWE, isn't it, really? So.
Yeah, and I'm sorry if I butchered their name. Just those guys were very impressive in that match.
We all have our ways of butchering people's names. We've all done We've all done that before.
Yes, we have. We also have now Asuka versus Nia Jax for the NXT Women's Championship.
Asuka.
Yep.
I don't know what they'll do if they had Nia Jax as the champion, but I just don't see that happening anytime soon. I can see Nia Jax being a champion, but not right now.
What I think this is the comparison of the Gail Kim versus Awesome Kong matches in TNA. So yes. I think this one will be very good.
Yeah, it's definitely that, no doubt. Like I say, I don't see Nia Jax winning. She could be a dominant champion, but it's a case of what they do with her in that respect. I don't see that happening anytime soon, so I'm going with Asuka on that one.
And well, we're at the top two matches, and we'll do this one first. Austin Aries goes one-on-one with Shinsuke Nakamura.
This is getting my blood boiling as a wrestling fan. I cannot wait for this. Will this steal the show? Then Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura? Probably not. But like I said to Billy, they'll have a fucking good go of it. Who do I see getting next shot against the winner of Balor and Joe? Which is going to probably be Samoa Joe. I see Austin Aries winning this, to be honest.
All right, I'm going to go the different way. I'm going to pick Nakamura.
Yeah, I won't be complaining if Nakamura wins.
I won't either.
Because it's going to be fucking... it's, it's getting me pumped up to think about it. And this is the whole reason I'll be watching NXT on June 8th. But, yeah, I see they go with Austin Aries. And it'll be Austin Aries versus Samoa Joe, which I've already just given the prediction of that away, so...
Be sure to listen to the Sunday Segway Wrestling Podcast.
What?
Every Sunday with Kenny Killer and the Galdem Sugar Shugs.
Yes!
With all the news, views, and laughter that you want.
They like jet airplanes. Woo! They like long limousines.
Every Sunday, the Sunday Segway Wrestling Podcast on Podomatic, iTunes, and YouTube.
So why don't you choke on that, slap nut?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final part of the Wrestling Matters podcast. Now, I've got a little outro that I'm going to do, guys. Be sure to check out everybody on the Swerve Talk Network, i.e. this episode as well. Everybody on the Swerve Talk Network, from Daz and Co. during the Max Wrestling podcast, Dazzy Dangerously and Craig Phoenix, as well as James and Mike Rodriguez and Roxy on the Offshoot Radio, as well as Evan McCabe, the one and only Evan McCabe, thank God. Very entertaining guy. If you haven't heard this guy, go and check him out. He is phenomenal. Really is phenomenal. And very entertaining too. Mr. fucking Hughes. No. Also check out my man Kenny Killer and Suggs as well for the Galdem Sugar Shugs for the Sunday Segway Wrestling Podcast. Got to check out my mentor as well. Hopefully, I'm not guaranteeing it, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm trying to get him to come on the show next week. I'm working on it. Will it take place? I hope so, but I can't guarantee it, ladies and gentlemen, because the guy is a very busy man. But be sure to check out the Swerve Talk Network. All the links will be in the description below on YouTube, as well as SoundCloud as well. A little brain fart there. I apologize. So be sure to check all that out as well and give them some love. Also, be sure to check out the Mystery Island, and guys. 2 things are going to happen on the Mystery Island. In July, on the Mystery Island, be sure to check it out. Like I've said, guys, 56 to 58 Oxton Road. Be sure to check it out. D'Lo Brown is coming to the Mystery Island. Now, I've had the pleasure of meeting D'Lo Brown, and I got an autograph from him when he was up here in Middlesbrough doing a show in Middlesbrough. So it'd be interesting to see where you get, I might even get another one from him. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But he's coming to the Mystery Island in Birkenhead, July 14th. Tickets are available, £23 VIP, autographs are £9, photos £9 combined. You get £16 for that in combined. be sure to check it out, man. The Eurocontinental Champion, D'Lo Brown, comes to the Mystery Island. Mystery Island, 56 to 58 Oxton Road in Birkenhead. Be sure to check all that out. Call 07541 761 956 if you can get to that area to make your arrangements now and get yourself over there. If you're in the area, just get yourself over because he's really good. Last time I met the guy, which was donks ago, he was a really cool dude. Just don't mention the celebrity wrestling to him. That's all I'm saying on that one. Also, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out TNT Extreme Wrestling. The guys who sent me, courtesy of J Apter as well. Be sure, shout out to you, sir. Hope you listen to this podcast. I will send you this and everything. And I'm promoting your stuff right now because I want to get that done out of the way. June 18th, Fusion Nightclub in Liverpool. Doors open at 7 p.m. Showtime, 7:30, yada, 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 yada. Get your tickets now at the Walkabout and the after party as well. That will be there as well. For more information on that, going off big time, involves people like Mark Haskins, BT Gunn, and the list goes on and on. For more information, go to facebook.com/TNT Wrestling, tntwrestling.co.uk, and at TNT Wrestling UK on Twitter as well. That is Fusion Nightclub, going off big time. Fusion Nightclub, June 18th. Saturday night, June 18th. Doors open at 7. Showtime, 7:30. Go and check it out. Now, also one more thing that I want to talk about in terms of... Nope, I think that's it. I think about wraps it up on that one, unless I've made some errors. I don't know if I have. We'll have to wait and see on that one, but I have mentioned it. I'm just making sure everything else. Nope, that seems to be done on that one as well. So be sure to check all of that out, guys, as well. And, yeah, I want to go off with this, guys. I saw a video during the week on YouTube.com from WWE.com. And it was very interesting indeed, because it was just mind-blowing, very much mind-blowing indeed. 6 tag teams that never made the Tag Team Championships. There were 6 great tag teams in WWE that never made the Tag Team Championships. Never became World Tag Team Champions. And it was a shame because there was a lot of good teams in there. It had, if I can find the video, I'll post the link in the description below. Be sure to check it out. I found it interesting because of one particular team in there. And yes, they did mention this as well. I believe it was on WWE.com. The Rockers were in there. It had people like Cesaro and Jack Swagger and stuff like that, but it also had the Rockers. Now, many people know the Rockers did not win the Tag Team Championships. Also, WWE don't want you to know that, because everybody knows the Rockers faced the Hart Foundation in a tag team match for the tag team titles that turned into a clusterfuck, because the rope break and everything, and they won the titles. There's evidence of it. They did win the tag team titles, but WWE did not count it, unfortunately. Yeah. They did not count it. And they even said it on the actual video as well. They should have counted. That's like taking away Ted DiBiase. That's like taking away Ted DiBiase's reign as champion. Or WWE champion. Null and void. Same with that as well. Don't get me wrong. The Rockers were AWA World Tag Team Champions, but they were never WWE Tag Team Champions. Or so people think. Or that's what WWE wants you to believe, even though there's clear evidence, and even though WWE didn't count the win they got over the Hart Foundation because it wasn't aired on television. They didn't want to air it on TV, and when the Rockers won the titles, they had to give them back because, like I said, they discounted it at the end of the day, and if you win the titles, you should keep the titles, have the rematch, the footage and whatever, and have the match. because I think the Rockers would have been great tag team champions. And they could have had a title shot and an opportunity to go for them again, but at the end of the day, we all know what happened in 92. The infamous barbershop, the infamous barbershop segment where Shawn kicks Marty Jannetty and begins the Heartbreak Kid. But like I say, guys, if I find the video, I will find the video and I'll put it in the description below on YouTube and SoundCloud and Swerve Talk Network as well. This has been the Wrestling Matters podcast. This has been the end of the show, guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Like, share, subscribe if you want to listen to this on YouTube, and enjoy it on SoundCloud as well, guys. Be sure to check out my site as well, thehairAnthonyWalker.net, thehairAnthonyWalker.wix.com. Also, check out the Swerve Talk Network, like I say, because this is where this is on. Check out the other ones, show them some love. And this has been the Wrestling Matters Podcast, episode 113. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Big thank you to Michael Larkin for the interview as well. More of that next week, and I'll see you next time, guys. Peace out.
Well, enough is enough, and it's time for a change. Professional wrestling, this is it. This is us standing up.
Yes, 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 yes.
That's 13-14.
Dina, I am the best in the world.
'Cause that's the bottom line. 'Cause Stone Cold Simpson.